Hey, I'm Chris. I'm the Longbox Punk, and on behalf of Nerd Initiative, I am here with a brand new comic book day horror comic release review. This time from Dark Horse Comics. It is called Summer Shadows. And as the name implies, there is very bright, very colorful, vibrant overtones in this book, but what it doesn't really lay out unless you really pay attention to the blood red moon. Vampires. This is a vampire tale set in the Greek islands. We're dealing with heartbreak. We're dealing with a Coast Guard captain who's trying to help out some of the less popular members of the Greek islands. The art here, as we get into it, let's go over the creative team, shall we? Here, let's make it more accessible for you. We've got John Harris Dunning on the script. We've got Ricardo Cabral on the artwork, which is just pristine. I love this style of this book. It feels very unique. It feels very fresh. And it honestly had me there. It feels like it looks it and it makes this world seem very simplified, but it also has a lot more hiding beneath the lines. What isn't overly detailed in the artwork, we do see a lot and plenty of just enough to keep your subconscious wondering what in exactly is going on and what we're leading to and building to. We've got colors by Brad Simpson. I love the color palette that's used in this book. It has both the very bright Greek islands and the summer feel and the just relaxing warm tones. It also, when it gets into the vampires and the darker feelings, it also gets very gray, very washed out, very bleak. And just that, like, the colors are just used so fantastically in this book. Super, super fun. The writing, it spreads our attention. We follow Nick, who's the cover boy here, that's escaping from a heartbreak, trying to find his missing lover. And then also, like I mentioned, we've got the captain from the Coast Guard trying to find a missing, they call them hippies in the book, that may or may not get seduced by vampires and taken away on this mysterious yacht. That's all conjecture. We're not really sure what's happening. We're not given enough of that story yet in this first issue. And then we also see a brief snippet of a priest, and I'm curious to see what happens with that setting and his mysterious benefactor. There's a lot happening in this first issue. It's 36 pages, which is a little bit longer than the standard 22 or 24 that we're used to seeing, but I love that because you get to pack more story into this first issue, and I love getting all of these pieces. I'm curious and intrigued to see where this goes. But when you see a first page of story like this one, I mean, that's straight. The color contrast between the very bright, vibrant reds and teals and purples that are used against the heavy, dark, just very thick blacks. Love it. I just like immediately I was like, man, this is gonna be cool. And it's a fun read. I can't wait to see what happens in the next issue. There's this constant subliminal fear and feel of unease that's just like, it's just sprinkled in enough where it's not cramming it down your throat, but it's definitely there. It's definitely present, and it definitely will keep you on your toes. My antenna are up. I'm paying attention to all of the things, and I'm looking for all of the details that make horror comics great. This is definitely a fun first issue in Summer Shadows from Dark Horse Comics. Again, we've got the wonderful creative team here. John Harris Dunning with the script, Ricardo Cabral with art, colors by Brad Simpson, letters by Jim Campbell, and the cover art is again by Ricardo Cabral. Super fun stuff from Dark Horse. I had a blast reading this. I cannot wait to see where else this story goes in the next issues. Be sure to pick up this first issue from Dark Horse Comics, Summer Shadows issue number 1, and make sure that you follow and stay tuned to allthingsnerdinitiative.com. Follow us, like us, subscribe to us so that you can keep up with all of our new comic book day recommendations just for you We're doing the hard work. We're reading these comics and giving you all of our takes so that you can be the most educated when you go into your local comic shops and support those local businesses and pick up all of these great books, including Summer Shadows #1 from Dark Horse Comics. Dig into it. Take a bite out of this book. You're not going to be disappointed. I'm Chris. I'm the Longbox Punk. That's going to be it for this review for you here on nerdinitiative.com. So go do what's good for you, punks, and read some indie and horror comics.